Hello, this is Bino. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an arborist and a tree climber specialist. What I like to do on my channel is share tree climbing tips with beginners and experts. A while back ago, I had a question asked to me. What do I do to climb a leaning tree when I'm body thrusting? Today, what I'm talking about is what I think about or do as I climb up on a leaning tree. All right, let's get to it. Some people feel that it's really easier to body thrust up a tree if you go on the lean side of the tree, and to some respects it is, because it's less maybe body weight if you're going up an angle. The thing is, on some trees they have weird angles when you climb, so what happens is you start to body thrust and then you swing out and you flop, or you swing against the tree, then a lot of your rope can be up against the trunk, and so it's harder to pull. So in maneuvering, when you're going to go up a leaning tree, if it's a wide tree, then you could have a wider stance. So you could do something like this. So you put your body weight back on it. Now, if it's a wider tree, maybe you could do a wider stance. If you can do a wider stance, it's nice. You could do have like a triangulation, you know. It's not too bad, right? So as you're going up, it's fairly simple. But if it's a narrow tree, you might have to be, you know, on it like this. And then that's where you'll have to rely more on your balance. So some of the things that I'll try to do is, if I start to lean one way, I'll kind of twist my body the opposite. But you have to be careful, because if you go too far, now you could swing out and then you could be up against the other branches. If you're in an MRS system, you'll have more friction on your rope. So what you'll try to do as you body thrust, stay in that line and try to stay in line with your tie-in point. And then sometimes, if you get near branches, now you can like maybe lean against them. And once you get to a higher spot in the tree and there's other branches, you can brace yourself against them. Now every tree is a little bit different, whereas it might not be as easy to go up the lean. But yeah, so my take is try to keep your balance. If you can triangulate with your feet, and if you're going in as a narrow tree, you really have to work on balancing with your body movements. So this is how I would go up a leaning tree. Now I'll show you what happens if you slip out. So sometimes somebody would get to here and then they slip out, so then you're kind of sunk. Once you slip out, now you have to deal with your rope on another branch, which is really hard to do. So it's best not to try not to do that. All right. Yeah, once you get in it, you can't get out of it. Let me see. There we go. So if you get a tree that you really just try to walk up and it's so hard to keep on flopping out, well, it might not be such a bad thing to maybe go to the other side of the lane. And there's a few other things that you can do to ascend. If you've decided that the lean was just too difficult to do, another option is to go the opposite side of the tree. But the difference is you'll be hanging in midair. Some people are very good at body thrusting in midair. And if you're not, there's another method you could use. It's a hybrid foot locking. So you already have your system, your climbing system, an MRS system, and it's a friction cord carabiner connected to a pulley. To do that, what you do is, you know, get all prepared. Throw my gloves on real quick. Should have them on already. And then you'll tighten your line up. Okay. And it's the same thing as foot locking. The thing is that you stay connected. You don't have to use a separate loop. And what you'll do is you'll grab the rope with your foot and you'll stand on it and step. And then you just continue to do that all the way up to your tie-in. Okay, so that's a hybrid footlock. Now it's pretty simple to do, time consuming, and you don't really get far because each pull in MRS is like a half a pull. It's not like your whole length. The next thing I'll show you is how to do it using a press-sick loop you can connect to the rope. I'll show you that next. Here you have another option. It's a press-sick cord. So what you can do with this is you'll tie an English press-sick onto the rope. So to do that, you'll go 3 wraps into this bite. Here's 1, 2. And then I'll tell you, this is one of the most difficult knots for me to tie. And hopefully I get it done proper. Let me get it in here. Let me see if, okay, throw this through here. And honestly, this method is somewhat difficult to do, but if you're really not good at body thrusting and you decide to go in lean and you have a real high ascent, you know, this is an option if you have a press-sick cord. So this is the English press-sick. Now get it set, make sure it holds. Now what you'll do is you get your line tight. You want to be directly underneath. Now you're going to put your foot inside the loop, and then you'll use this to put pressure on your knot and start ascending. So once you have that, you pull up, grab above your line, and so that what you have to do on every single step, you have to push up your friction hitch, and then you could do it this way. Thing is, this could take a while. So that's another option. So let me take this off and I'll show you a different way after this. This third method is the best way to ascend a rope that's in midair. You know, it's a lot better than that hybrid footlock and also the loop, but what you have to have is a foot ascender. So you get a foot ascender. There's multiple different types of foot ascenders. You got to make sure you have a rope that's able, if you have a foot ascender with the spike teeth, one that you can do it with. Don't just use a regular one. So what you'd want to do is you're all set up like regular. All you have to do is put your rope in the foot ascender, and then you start to ascend up. And it's a lot more easier than the loop or the hybrid footlock. And then once you get to the point where you want to be, all you have to do is take your ascender off and then work the tree if that's what you wanted to do. All right, here we go. Well, there you have it. My take on walking up a lean of a tree. Now I'll tell you that some of the most skilled professionals may not be able to walk on the lean side of the tree depending on the tree. But so as I mentioned, having a wide stance, or if it's a narrow tree and you're walking up, by putting your weight on your rope and try to anticipate the way your body moves and counteract that with body movement so you don't swing out. But if it happens to be one of those trees where it's so difficult that you can't walk up the lean, then you have that other option of on the opposite side of the lean. But then you would rely on maybe having that hybrid footlock method or the press-sick loop, a foot ascender, or if you're very good at body thrusting, just body thrust your way up. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you like what we do. And by all means, share our video. Take care, we'll see you next time.